Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. Hi.
Good day, mate.
Happy Fisting Friday.
Ooh,
Ready to get
yeah.
fisted on this Friday? Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, that's too much.
Megan, you're supposed to yes and me. You can't stop it. You
You
can't stop the beat.
So, Mons was asking, we were watching High School Musical 3.
When are y'all not?
I know. And I was asking Mons, I was like, oh, do you know why his hair's dark? And he was like, no. And I was like, he was Link Larkin in Hairspray. And he was like, oh, I've seen that. I go, no, you have not. You have not seen the John Travolta Hairspray. And he goes, no, I've definitely seen it. I was like, your mom and your neighbor, when you're they make you go? And he was like, I think so. So I don't know.
Did he see the one, like, there was another one, an older one that came out before that Ricky Lake was in. Did he see that one?
That makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the idea that he would have seen the Zac Efron Hairspray. I'm like, sir, you would have been in high school or college.
Yeah.
And like, I just cannot picture that. Like, maybe
He
you were
saw
going
the
with
one
him.
with Ricky Lake.
But so now I desperately need to make him watch the Zac Efron one to prove to me that he's seen it. He loves Zac Efron. He's like, he's got that star quality. And I saw this on the Dumois subreddit.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Zac Efron just followed Vanessa Hudgens on Instagram. She is engaged, but just maybe one last sliding into the DMs.
Oh God. Does he have to actually slide into DMs, or can he just send a message?
He might be able to, but you have to remember, like, they might like legitimately not have each other's phone numbers at that point.
Yeah.
You know, like, not that he would have deleted them, but like
if he
new
needed
numbers. Yeah, but then people would know. And they'd be like, maybe that's how it got leaked to Dumois. As people were like, did he follow? Oh, there you go. Now imagine if he had asked for her number. She wasn't at Coachella. And I was like, the pandemic wasn't going to stop you, but what did?
Yeah, I was going to say, the person
who was ready to murder the elderly to attend a fucking festival.
I mean, people are going to die.
And it's sad, but like inevitable. Yeah. And I was
the
like,
pandemic did change all of us. So maybe.
No, she like posted like,
she's
different. So sad I'm not there. And I was like,
oh.
Girl, if you're not filming for another fucking Netflix installment of the 15 different people where you play the same person, but you play all these different people, what is it? The Princess Switch? If you're not filming another installment of The Princess Switch, What was your excuse? What were you in? Another Fast and the Furious movie where you wore cornrows? No.
Maybe she's pregnant.
I don't think she is.
I don't know. I'm just making up rumors. She's doing
Wait,
her...
no, it wasn't Fast and the Furious. It's that other one. It's the same fucking movie. It's like the same vein genre, but it's a bigger one. It's Will Smith. What was the one that he's in?
Bad
It's like
Boys?
a duo. There you go.
Oh, it's not the same movie at all. They're cops.
Yeah, but they're in cars. And they're in
Bad
cities like
Boys,
Miami.
What you want to do.
Is that Bad Boys 4? Was that what it was?
Here's the thing about Bad Boys. They mislabeled these movies in the same way that Fast and the Furious did.
It should be called Family.
Because Bad Boys for Life is number 3, I believe.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused with these fucking names.
Yes. Hold on. Let me get to the franchise.
Do you think Michael Bay is the through line in these?
I don't think he did all of them.
He did Transformers.
Oh, I thought you meant all the Bad Boys movies.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so there's only been 3 Bad Boys, but the third one was called Bad Boys for Life, but they are filming the next one currently.
So how do you go
And
after
then there's-
for life? Bad Boys in the afterlife?
Bad
Boys till death do us
Forever.
part.
4, the number 4, and then Eva. And then they also had that TV series that was Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba. That was LA's
What's that?
Finest. That was a spinoff that was only on like Spectrum.
You know what I thought that was for the longest time?
What?
The Sinner. I thought that's what that movie, I thought that's what that show was. And I was like, they're not the same thing? So but that adds
Not
to the
even
level of
close.
my confusion when you broke down the plot for one of those fucking episodes. And I'm over here like, what? Yeah, that's literally what I thought it was.
Wow.
Oh, he also produced
there's
A
a
Quiet
few
Place.
few soap stars on that TV show. See, quite a few names I recognize, including Melissa Fuermo's husband.
Oh, yeah. He's got that soap face.
Kelly Rowland was on an episode.
Why isn't she in more soaps? That checks out
No,
for me.
I know she was on an episode of LA's Finest. That's what
She
I'm
could be
talking about.
in a soap.
Yeah. Kelly, I know you're listening, Miss Rowland. I have a part for you.
She's a big fan of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And also, who do we get in contact with for all of my ideas for the Sister Act soundtrack?
Kiki. I mean, we have a connection-ish.
We do. We've got 1 degree of separation.
Mm-hmm. Her people
Actually-
know our people.
Yeah.
So
Kiki, let us know if anyone is needing some help with the soundtrack, because we've got ideas.
has she officially signed on for it?
I don't know. I'm just going off that
I
one
know
fucking
that she
clip of her
wanted
and
to be
Whoopi.
in, and Whoopi was like, bitch, you're already in it, basically. So that tells me all I need to know.
And it was on television, so like you can't
Yeah.
backtrack that.
Yeah.
You can't lie on Hollywood. No. Okay. Anyways, all of that aside, should we read the results for last week's episode of But Am I Wrong?
Why not?
Good point.
That's why we're here, isn't it?
Yes,
Another good
it
point,
is.
Melissa.
You're first up. It's episode 66.
All right. Melissa, declining free labor to a book publisher. 1% said I was wrong. 99% said that I was not wrong. I know one of these people that said I was wrong thought that they wanted me to write a review for Amazon and said that getting paid was illegal. And as I said, it was not to write a review for Amazon. They found me on Amazon. They wanted me to do a review of the book, like review the book.
Yeah, slightly different. Next up was mine, naming adults, not babies. 8% said I was wrong, and 92% said I was not wrong. And someone responded and said, I actually only checked last night, so maybe I should also check again. Someone said,
I can
definitely
give
not.
you a gist of a lot of things that people said that were not things that you even said. So go ahead.
So someone said, you're definitely not wrong. However, I find it important that the names parents choose so that they will not get their kid bullied in school for. The kids can be vicious. And I would not want that for anyone. There's even a law containing this in Germany, which is why some names get rejected. So my rebuttal to that is like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I needed to state that, like, yeah, I don't think you should name your child like Adolf or Hitler or anything that's offensive and, you know, a dictator, you know, like there's bad names. But I just like this whole thing of like kids will make fun of you. I went to school with like people with like the most, now that I'm older, like I've realized that there are like quote unquote weird names, like Teely. People had like
That's
middle
cute.
names of Cloud, lots of Zephyrs, lots of like Autumn, and then like
I
middle
know
names.
several Autumns.
Yeah, and like
I don't
middle
think
names.
Autumns is one that is included in that list.
And like they're all like unique names. One of my friends, Nicolina, like just unique names. And I'm telling you right now, of all of my fucking friends, like the most normal name. And I was the only one who ever got made fun of for their name because people call me Meg Ham. And it's like, oh, like you're chubby, like Meg Ham. Like kids will make fun of, it's like has nothing to do with the name. It has to do with like kids being assholes. Like you can, I knew a kid who his last name was Bates and he made his like AIM Master Bates and didn't know what he was doing. And like he sure got a little bit made fun of, but this thing that like you're gonna be absolutely like torn to shreds over a name is it's not like kids will make fun of any name. Do you know what I mean? Like Richard, Dick.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be like so odd and out there. Also, naming your child something wild like cranberry can affect them later in life. But how do we know? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what do we know in all of this? Like, and like, what are so much of the assumptions of like unprofessional names is coming from horrifically racist places, but then also like, it's about what's normal. And like, again, I grew up in an area where like we had no Sarahs in my grade. Like we had multiple Zephyrs. Like everybody had a very unique crunchy granola name. Like I hear weird, like people are like, oh, unique weird names. And I'm like, I would have a better shot at naming our future child a relatively common name, and I wouldn't know anybody with that name, than like an obscure name. And in the masses of that, there is no, oh, this is out of the norm. Like it just becomes regular and it becomes normal. So I think there are like universally bad words and things that don't sound nice. But I just can't think of names that are like horrific.
Right.
That are not horrific because they're like, yeah, there's horrific names because they represent really bad things, but ones that are just like embarrassing, that's not bad parenting, where it's like, okay, then you're bad parents. Like your name has nothing to do with it. You know, if you name your like kid fucking asshole, then I'm like, their name is the least of their worries if that's who their parents are.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked what our thoughts on the name Daenerys after the show. Don't really care at all.
Don't care.
Like, one of the worst names you could name your child now is Alexa.
Don't say it too loud. Good
I
thing I
know.
have on headphones.
I know. That's why I said it with that level of voice.
There's a character on General Hospital whose name is Alexis, and when them things first came out, every time someone would say her name on the show, it would chime it. I think they've gotten better at getting it more accurate now, but every time I would have to turn off my device, my Echo, so that it wouldn't start with that.
You know,
it's so annoying.
It's dropped. No name has ever dropped faster in the Social Security records. Like,
Makes sense.
It dropped by like 75%, 80% since the year it was released. And like now it's like nobody names their kid that in America. And I'm like, why couldn't you just have say Amazon?
Well, you can change it to say like computer.
Yeah, but the fact that they just made it a name. Also,
Yeah.
Siri apparently used to be, I mean, not in America, but it's like a pretty like well-established name in, I think, some Scandinavian country or something.
I can see that.
Yeah. Wild. Also, the same people who like have like an issue with like certain names, like they'll be like the name ISIS, and I go, that is a name and is now,
and it was a name for the longest time.
Yep.
It is part of mythology,
and it's also an acronym that we Americans use for an organization that's not what they're called.
Yeah,
That's our name for them.
When I was in working with one of the early jobs that I had in entertainment, our computer system itself, like the room was called the ISIS room. And like it was around the time where that was starting to become people talking about ISIS stole their children or whatever. And then the computer tech came, we had an issue and they're like, and somebody was like, it's in the ISIS room. And they were like, that's what you call it? And it's like information system. It stood for something, but
yeah. No, that's Ice Spice's first name, and like people can't even comment on her photos on Instagram because they'll get flagged and removed.
Yep.
And I also don't think that that's like a parent problem of like, well, then you just shouldn't have named your kid that. And it's like, well, no, like this is not how that works in that sense.
Right. All right, and then we've got writer number 1 versus friend and friend's boyfriend who isn't vaccinated because he claims to be afraid of needles. 4% said the writer is wrong. 96% said the writer is not wrong. Somebody wrote in with an opposing view and said, I just didn't like this take because not everyone is at the same level with their phobias. And just because you have the same phobia and are able to get vaccinated multiple times while people still struggle to get it once. I do think he needs to be respectful and mask up. However, I don't think he's an anti-vaxxer based off his inability to cope with and go against his phobia. Personally, I have had multiple appointments and canceled due to my phobia and had multiple panic attacks due to it. Not everyone is on the same level, and I'm nowhere near an anti-vaxxer. I just think you guys went too hard. I also think he could attempt more to at least make an appointment even if he cancels, but we don't know this phobia affects him. He said that he was too busy to schedule an appointment.
Yeah.
Because life and work got in the way. No, he just said life got in the way.
Yeah, and there's like, I'm not one to like advocate in the sense of like, oh, people who are like different than you and have like struggles or whatever, then it needs to be their responsibility that they can't participate in the same social activities and all of that stuff. And that's only when it affects one person. But like at that point, like then yeah, like he shouldn't be, if your phobia is so severe that you cannot get vaccinated, then you can't be around other people.
Right.
And like that needs to be something that you're removing yourself from. And like, yeah, you can't go to concerts and go to do all those fun things because it's not, this phobia then ceases about being about you. It then becomes about all of these other people and the dangers in that. And so
if he wanted to, he'd make the time, and he won't make the time. So
yeah, there's people working through phobias, like it's a very hard thing. But it's necessary, especially when it comes to your own safety and the safety of other people. Then we got writer number 2 versus boyfriend who is being weird about his female friend. 9% said the writer is wrong. 91% said the writer's not wrong. Did you see any messages for this one?
Yes, I did see one. It might be, and if it's hysterical, it's historical for him, though. Like an ex of his might have reacted and he wanted to avoid that, or something else in his past.
See, that's a lie that men tell people. Like the fact that the amount of times like I've had friends who've like dated guys who are like verbally abusive, so incredibly controlling and like absolutely awful. And that like my friends would be like, well, you know, like they just like have like a lot of trauma from their last relationship. And so like, they just need me to like constantly check in. And I'm like, their last relationship, they got their heart broken when they were 13 years old. Like, stop making this excuse as a reason why a woman harms you. So therefore, like you're allowed to treat all women bad. Because then at the end of the day, it still makes it a woman's responsibility and fault.
Yep.
So I'm against it all. All of it, all of it, all of it.
Writer number 3 versus ex's sister, who the writer told that the brother was depressed. This one is very split.
I know.
51% said the writer is wrong. 49% said the writer is not wrong.
Pretty much everything, all of the messages were people saying exactly what we said, like not wrong for saying it, wrong for how she went about it. So I think that's probably why it's split, because some people
They didn't
they
know
all
which
feel
way
that
to vote.
Yeah, they feel that way, but to put it into words, they would describe it in two different ways with the same meaning. So I think that's probably what that one was.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have writer number 4 who leaves Post-it notes for coworkers. 67% said the writer is wrong. 33% said the writer is not wrong. I straight up thought we were going to have more people on the side of the writer.
Really?
Yeah. Just because I even brought this one up to Mats when we were in the car. I was asking him about his thoughts on smelly food and communal spaces. And then I was specifically asking him, I was I know I'm very sensitive to scents at home and stuff like that. But I was asking, I was have I ever mentioned anything that out there? He's no, why? And I was I'm just trying to figure out if I would be bothered by this and it just never happened to me, or if I don't notice it and I just don't really care about it and it has happened. But yeah, I'm curious what the writer ended up doing.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got Wrong of the Week, Joanne, Marion, Segovia. 95% said Segovia is wrong. 5% said Segovia is not wrong. You said she was not wrong. I'm curious as to why. We didn't have anybody right, except for a couple people said they voted wrong.
Yeah.
But
then we have my Wrong of the Week. I nominated California facility checks for daycares. They passed a law that is not being enforced. And 99% said the government is wrong, and 1% said they are not wrong. Again, those are only 3 votes, so a little bit easier. But in what world would it be fine?
so you might have heard by now, and there might be a post up. Who knows? Things happen, but it should be up so we can get people to watch before the weekend when they might watch it.
Yeah.
So we're going to do But Am I Wrong? TV movie edition. I don't know. Whatever we feel like watching. Watch edition. Let's call it that.
Watching? Yeah.
Yeah. But am I watching? And so we're going to do the first up. Well, we're going to do kind of a double feature back to back of Amy Sherman
Palladino.
I was it's not Pellegrino. Palladino.
That'd be funny.
Well, Danny Pellegrino's got that last name. And so we're gonna do first up will be the talking show, Gilmore Girls.
The pilot of Gilmore Girls.
and then we're gonna do The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel the next week.
Yeah.
And so we want y'all to watch the pilot and share hot takes that you might have for the show. And that's what we'll use for the But Are You Wrong portion. So please still continue to write in. But we're going to do it from this aspect.
Yeah.
Please share before the end of the day on Monday.
That would be so helpful. And I'm excited. I talk so much shit. No, in no offense to Marvelous Miss Maisel, but it is legitimately, if you were to write down a show that is this is not a Meghan show, it is that. But Amy Sherman Palladino is
a
there,
Meghan show, but you thought it was a musical, and it's not a musical.
It gives the same vibe. I still think it's a musical.
The way that it's just very well shot, that the shots are very choreographed, so I could understand why you might think it's a musical, but it's not.
Well, I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited for you to see Gilmore Girls. The pilot is such a unique thing. Also, just going into this, I have to let you know that they recasted some people from the pilot of Gilmore Girls. Okay. So you might be where's that dude from Supernatural? And I'll be actually, no, he might be in the reshot of the pilot. I think he is in the pilot now, but they had an old pilot that was released that you could watch, and he wasn't in it. But you'll get it all. I can just hear the music. I can hear the intro. He's la 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 la, and maybe it'll get Mats to get back into it so we can finish the whole goddamn fucking show because he will not finish it.
Understandable.
Yeah. Once the Palladino family left, he was these writers are not holding their own the way that they should be, and I was I know, but keep power through.
So, join us. I think it is going to be a lot of fun.
I think it will be too. And it'll be, as you might have heard if you're caught up in this week's episode of See You Next Tuesday, Melissa and I are overwhelmed with lots of other things. And so this is not that we don't love doing the regular version of the podcast, but this is like two birds with one stone. We get like a recreational TV movie kind of break, entertainment, and then we get to do it on podcast. And it's like lighthearted.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. And, for me, it's still, this is like, of course, work, but it adds into my other work too, to dissect and study. You too, study. I think that The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is a masterclass in acting. Oh,
I'm sure. I mean, also you're going to see a lot of the same actors.
Yeah. I know.
She's loyal that way. Okay. Well, we're excited for that. We hope you are all excited as well, and submit those hot takes in. And even if you don't have like a specific like hot take, you can just pose a take that, if you're like very deep in a fandom, you might not think a take is so hot, but pick a stance or pick something like that, and we can talk about it.
And it's pilot specific. So only watch the very first episode, because I'm not watching it. Maybe I'll be inspired to watch more, but I'm not watching any more at this time. So I can't weigh in if it's not pilot specific.
I do need at some point, though, for you to watch enough of it so you can tell me which boyfriend you like the most. I think you're going to like dislike them all, but I think you're a contrarian and an Aquarius, so in theory, you should be a Jess, but you like the finer things in life, so therefore you would be a Logan,
Yeah, sometimes, like, if I can get the finer things, then I can overlook other things.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, then I don't have to be around him anymore, because I'm enjoying the finer things.
And I know you, and so it's like, I don't know, which one are you going to pick in that sense? So you don't dislike blondes.
No,
and
I don't.
He's like the only blonde that I've ever loved. So therefore, he's a supreme blonde. And then the other one's Milo Ventimiglia.
Please don't say supreme blonde.
Ooh, very clan.
Take that
My apologies.
back.
I take
that back.
He's an elite blonde.
Elite too?
No, what's an exception to the rule?
Okay, just say that, because anything else sounds like white supremacy.
Very, very much so. I mean, yeah, his family storyline, that's the downfall. But you know who plays his dad?
Who?
Hollis Doyle.
Nice.
Fantastic actor.
Nice.
Fantastic actor. No, he's gorgeous.
We'll see y'all next Friday. But before then, check us out on Monday, and don't forget to write in.
Watch, write in, and join in the fun.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Bye.
Bye. I feel like I'm going to get my feelings hurt by...
Merry Christmas, everybody. My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
and we are the co-hosts of the Christmas... Let me try that again. Merry Christmas, everybody. My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
and we are the hosts of Christmas Countdown Show.
We're so thrilled to be bringing the merriment to you all this holiday season.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be massively merry,
Oh, yeah.
gigantically jolly, fantastically festive,
was
as
good.
some people might say, Eric. We are all about alliterations, and we are all about Christmas spirit. On Christmas Countdown, we love to count down our top 10 favorite things related to the holiday season. That could be food, movies, music, everything that we all love about this massively merry good time. So wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you click that subscribe button. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready, and we hope that you are too. Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's go. It should be like, let's go, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go Network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the magical millennial.
And I'm the dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed.
I had Danielle and Megan record some answers to seemingly meaningless questions. I asked Danielle what insect song is typically higher pitched in hotter temperatures and lower pitched in cooler temperatures.
You got this.
No, I didn't.
Don't believe that. About a wish coming true? Well, I didn't either. Of course, I'm just a
cicada. I'm crying. I'm so sorry, Jiminy.
You win that one.
So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.